Could this be the end of Lil Durk's lavish life as a rap star? With a murder-for-hire charge hanging over his head, Durk's future is looking grim. Years after the tragic loss of his close friend and mentee, King Von, Durk's now facing life, or maybe even the lethal injection, for allegedly plotting a revenge hit that left Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab, dead. Was it all worth it, or is this the price for loyalty gone too far? Lil Durk facing death after arrest. Chicago's Grammy Award-winning rapper Lil Durk, real name Durk Banks, just got snatched up by the feds on some serious charges, and it's looking like he might be in a fight for his life. The feds aren't playing either. They dropped a federal criminal complaint on his head, accusing Durk of conspiring with his boys to take out a rival, which ended in a deadly shooting at a gas station near the Beverly Center in LA. This wasn't just any shooting. It led to the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Saviaya Lil Pab Robinson, in a cold-blooded scene straight out of a movie. The streets and social media are buzzing, and fans are left wondering if Durk's past is about to finally catch up to him. Durk, 32, who's been out here as one of Chicago's biggest rap voices, got arrested on Thursday near Miami International Airport. The charge? Conspiracy to commit murder for hire. According to the FBI, Durk tried to slip out of the country with international flights booked to Dubai, Switzerland, and even a private jet to Italy, but the feds had their eyes on him, and he was picked up just an hour before he could take off. They say he wasn't just running, though. Durk allegedly made it known that anyone who thought about testifying against him might meet the same fate as Lil Pab. 5 other OTF, only the family members, are wrapped up in this mess too. Kevin London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston. The feds believe these guys might have helped pull the strings for the hit, and they're not ruling out more arrests. With these conspiracy and murder for hire charges hanging over their heads, all 6 of them are staring down potential life sentences if the feds get their way in court. And with everything documented down to the FBI affidavit, they're coming at Durk like he's public enemy number 1. Durk made his first appearance in Miami's federal court on October 25, 2024, where he was kept in custody. His next stop is Los Angeles, where he faced arraignment and likely hear all the evidence the feds have been stacking up. Saturday, October 26th, marked another chapter in the drama when Durk got booked into a federal detention center in Miami. Lil Durk's father, Dante Big Durk Banks, who now goes by Abdul Haq, was right there in Miami as his son faced a judge for allegedly plotting the attempted murder of rival rapper Quando Rondo. After years of prison time himself, Big Durk understands what Durk could be facing. Back in 1993, he got locked up for federal charges when Durk was just a baby and served a hefty 26-year sentence before winning an appeal and being released in 2019. Since then, Big Durk has been on a path of redemption, switching his name to Abdul Haq and dedicating himself to steering at-risk youth away from the life he once led. Through his mentorship, he shares the harsh lessons he learned as a warning for young people to avoid his mistakes. But seeing his own son now facing charges that could have him behind bars even longer than his father, Big Durk's mission feels more personal than ever. Leaving the courtroom with Durk's lawyer Alex Ubieta, Big Durk declined to comment, knowing that the road ahead for his son will be rough. For Big Durk, the stakes are higher now than ever, with his son at the center of a case that could have serious consequences. This isn't just a hit to Durk's freedom. This case paints a bloody picture of what some are calling street justice. Assistant U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada didn't hold back, calling the act cold-blooded and slamming Durk and his crew for bringing this violence into public spaces. The FBI's Akil Davis said it's proof of how far their reach goes, and they're making it clear that they're coming for anyone involved, no matter how deep they're buried in the streets. Durk himself seems to have seen some of this coming. He's been on record saying his criminal record was wiped clean just last month, celebrating with his fans on social media, even tweeting out that he ain't a felon anymore, and thanking everyone who pushed him to get his slate clean. But here we are, just weeks later, with Durk facing what might be the biggest charge of his life, and fans are pointing to his track Federal Nightmares like it's a prophecy, with lines like, "Delete my iCloud if I think they really on me though. It ain't your phone, it be your homie though." It's almost like Durk was dropping hints about his own life. Fans are sharing clips of the song all over X, formerly Twitter, saying he predicted his own future. It's no secret that Durk's had a rough history with the law, from a weapons charge in 2011 that put him behind bars to getting hit with probation in 2013. His rap sheet's as long as his list of chart-topping hits. But since 2022, Durk's been on a mission to move away from that life, or at least that's what he was telling everyone. After converting to Islam, he's been using words like Alhamdulillah on social media and claiming to be the voice for those who need it. And his recent success only made it look like he was making good on those promises. But now, it's all on the line. If Durk and his guys are found guilty, they're looking at the rest of their lives locked up. With the feds stacking evidence and their own words, the court battles ahead are bound to be heated. Fans and foes alike are on the edge of their seats, wondering if this is it for Lil Durk, and if he'll have to pay the ultimate price for tracking revenge for a lost brother. Inside the attempted murder of Quando Rondo, August 19, 2022, was a date Quando Rondo will never forget, a day that nearly ended in his own death and tragically took the life of his cousin, Saviaya Lil Pab Robinson. In the early morning near a gas station in West Hollywood, gunfire erupted, leaving Rondo untouched but fatally wounding Robinson, who passed away at the hospital. It wasn't a random act of violence. According to federal authorities, this was a revenge plot meticulously coordinated by none other than Chicago rapper Lil Durk and his OTF collective. The beef traces back to November 2020 when Timothy Leaks, also known as Lil Tim and a close friend of Rondo, shot and killed Chicago rapper King Von outside an Atlanta hookah lounge. King Von and Quando's entourages had a heated exchange that rapidly escalated, ending in a hail of bullets that left Von and another man dead. TMZ captured surveillance footage showing Von confronting Rondo, igniting a physical altercation moments before the shots rang out. Despite Rondo claiming self-defense in the incident, King Von's death sparked a deep-seated grudge from OTF and Durk, who considered Von more than a friend. He was like family. Durk, OTF's leader, had brought Von up in the game, signing him to his label, collaborating on tracks, and nurturing his talent. Losing Von wasn't just losing an artist, it was losing a brother. To those close to the situation, it was no secret that Durk wasn't going to let it slide. According to the federal indictment, Lil Durk allegedly put out a bounty on Quando Rondo to avenge Von's death. He didn't just want Rondo gone, he wanted it done so thoroughly that the message would be unmistakable. Durk, referred to as co-conspirator 1-inch in legal documents, used coded language, reportedly promising cash and career opportunities in OTF to anyone who made Rondo disappear. As August 2022 approached, Durk and his team had gathered intel that Rondo was spending time in Los Angeles. That's when the plan took shape. Durk allegedly worked with his loyal OTF associates, including Calvin London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston to coordinate every detail. This wasn't some thrown-together plot. It was an orchestrated hit that involved flights, rented vehicles, and firearms procured specifically for this mission. Grant, who allegedly flew to LA to lead the operation, secured black ski masks, getaway cars, and automatic weapons, including a machine gun modified to spray bullets quickly. Meanwhile, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston reportedly flew out from Chicago to meet Grant, with everything paid for by OTF. By August 18th, the group was ready. They watched and followed Rondo and his cousin from location to location, hitting spots across LA with eerie precision. The group used 2 rental cars to tail them, exchanging intel over the phone in real time to ensure Rondo had nowhere to hide. Their surveillance mission continued into the next day, and by August 19th, the group had tracked Rondo's Escalade to a gas station on Beverly Boulevard. That's where the attack went down. In a scene straight out of a thriller, Houston parked their vehicle in an alley behind the gas station, giving the group cover to approach Rondo's SUV. Jones, Lindsay, and a third associate jumped out of the car, armed and ready, moving with one goal in mind: taking out Quando Rondo. A rain of gunfire erupted. Their aim was clear: end Rondo's life right there. But in the chaos, it was Lil Pab, standing close to the vehicle, who took the fatal bullets. Rondo watched as his cousin went down, helpless against the ambush that took only seconds to execute, but left an irreparable scar. After the attack, the group didn't stick around. They sped off, regrouping at a nearby hamburger joint where they discussed their payout for carrying out the hit. According to the indictment, Wilson handled the financials on behalf of Durk, ensuring everyone got their promised cash before they hightailed it back to Chicago. Despite the crew's attempt to cover their tracks, law enforcement was a step ahead. The feds pieced together the trail using text messages, surveillance footage, and even receipts for flights and rentals tied directly to OTF. Durk and the others didn't just catch the eye of local law enforcement, they drew the full attention of federal prosecutors. This wasn't just a case of gang beef gone too far. The indictment slapped Durk and his crew with severe charges, including number 1, conspiracy to commit murder for hire, using interstate means like phones, flights, and cars to plan and execute the hit. Number 2, firearm violations. The feds have them on record using fully automatic machine guns, turning this case into a federal firearms violation. Number 3, forfeiture of assets. The government's going after any assets or firearms connected to this violent act, leaving Durk and his OTF members with everything to lose. The weight of these charges means Durk and the defendants could be looking at life behind bars. It's a grim turn for OTF and Durk, who had publicly tried to separate himself from his criminal past, only to end up in a plot that reads like a tragic ending to a saga of street loyalty and revenge. With Durk now facing death or life imprisonment, the rapper might be wishing he had listened to podcaster Wallow, who warned him about retaliating for King Von's death during an episode of $1 Million Worth of Game, where Wallow, co-host of the podcast, tried to set Durk on a different path. In 2022, Wallow, who knows firsthand the pain of street life, laid it all out for Durk. He shared how he lost his own brother to gun violence and, despite the anger, chose forgiveness to avoid throwing away his future. Wallow's words hit deep because he didn't just talk the talk, he walked it, turning his life around after spending 20 years behind bars and transforming himself into a role model. On the podcast, Wallow told Durk to look beyond the revenge and think about his family, his legacy, and what kind of impact he wanted to leave behind. Wallow was clear. He wanted Durk to see that life on the other side of violence, and he stressed how easy it is to get trapped in a cycle that only ends in one of two places, the grave or prison.
If I ain't let that go, I won't be right here today. I won't be here for my niece and my nephews. Me and Gil won't be doing this. Y'all won't know me. I won't be able to give y'all this game. But I had to leave. I had to let that go. When I let that go, nigga, I started to grow. And I started to glow.
Wallow and Gilly Day King, the other half of $1 Million Worth of Game, aren't just podcasters. They're voices with real street cred who push for change in the rap game and in the streets. Wallow's hard-won wisdom has turned him into a big influence, with partnerships with brands like the NFL and Puma. Now, that clip from the episode is going viral again, with fans saying that maybe Durk would be in a different position if he had really taken Wallow's words to heart. Meanwhile, as this case unfolds, there are whispers that someone from within OTF may have turned on Lil Durk, feeding information to the feds that led to his downfall. Lil Durk allegedly betrayed by OTF member. The shocking twist, one of Durk's longtime OTF associates, identified as Jam, allegedly turned informant, secretly cooperating with authorities to build a case against him. Jam's role reportedly involved wearing a wire for several years, gathering crucial evidence against Durk, whose real name is Durk Banks. Released from prison in 2022 after serving a 12-year sentence for attempted murder, Jam reportedly provided authorities with insider details that helped the feds map out Durk's alleged involvement in a hit on rival rapper Quando Rondo. This plot, according to the feds, was intended as revenge for the 2020 death of King Von, another OTF member and close friend of Durk's. Jam's involvement was first hinted at by rapper King Yella, who claimed he'd heard Jam implicate Durk in the murder-for-hire plot targeting Rondo. According to King Yella, Jam provided intel that directly linked Durk to the ambush of Rondo and his cousin Saviella Lil Pab Robinson in August 2022.
But I heard somebody named OTF Jam, they said they've been calling him a rat. And basically he said, okay, I'm a rat. Well, watch this. That all this information that I know. Rat this, I'm gonna tell this, I'm gonna tell that.
This attack, which took place near a gas station in West Hollywood, left Lil Pab dead. Many believe the hit was retaliation for King Von's death, allegedly making Rondo a prime target. Within OTF, Jam was known as a loyal member who had Durk's back. In a 2023 interview with DJ Jerry, Jam reminisced about his bond with Durk, describing how Durk's music kept him going during his prison stint and how Durk supported him financially and emotionally after his release. However, behind this brotherhood, Jam was reportedly collaborating with the feds, using his position to record conversations and report back on OTF's operations. The betrayal cuts even deeper given Jam's background and the respect he commanded among the crew. In a recent appearance on DJ Vlad's show, hip-hop manager Wack 100 talked about Jam's loyalty, sharing how Durk allegedly gifted Jam $50,000 and a car after his release.
He said Jam get out that jam and give him 50, he ain't gotta ask again, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gotta ask, bro. He said he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Wack highlighted how Jam had insisted he kept it real and never cooperated with law. Enforcement claims that now seem at odds with the allegations. According to Vlad and Wack 100, it was around this time in 2022, right after his release, that Jam allegedly started cooperating with the FBI, playing a covert role in tracking and reporting on OTF's activities. Given Jam's influence and longtime ties within OTF, his cooperation allowed authorities to build a stronger case, revealing previously unknown details of OTF's alleged criminal operations. Jam's insider role gave the feds an unprecedented look into OTF's structure and activities. According to the indictment, he provided key information that outlined Durk's actions in orchestrating the plot against Rondo. The indictment describes OTF as a hybrid organization straddling both the music and criminal worlds, with Durk allegedly at the helm, guiding violent actions carried out by his associates. Some of the most critical details Jam provided include planning and financials. Jam allegedly supplied information on how flights, hotels, and rentals were funded using OTF's credit cards. Court documents mention that Durk, referred to as co-conspirator 1, specifically instructed OTF members to avoid using names directly linked to him when booking flights for the crew. Jam's cooperation reportedly included specifics about how the team tracked Rondo across Los Angeles. The indictment mentions the use of cell phones for real-time updates on Rondo's location as the OTF crew followed him from a marijuana dispensary to a clothing store before cornering him at a gas station. Jam's information covered the purchase of ski masks, the acquisition of firearms, firearms, including a fully automatic machine gun, and how these weapons were used in the deadly attack on Rondo's cousin, Lil Pal. With Jam's help, prosecutors reconstructed the crew's movements, capturing overt actions like renting vehicles, traveling together, and reuniting after the shooting to discuss payouts for the hit. This revelation has sent shockwaves through OTF's inner circle and the wider hip-hop community. Since forming OTF, Only the Family, in 2010, Durk's label has been at the forefront of Chicago drill music, representing a blend of loyalty, street credibility, and music success. Originally affiliated with French Montana's Coke Boys, OTF has since grown into its own powerhouse, with distribution through Empire Distribution and a deal for Durk with Alamo and Interscope Records. But beneath this success, the recent indictment has painted a darker picture of OTF, alleging it operated as both a rap label and a gang, heavily involved in Chicago's street conflicts. With the case now in the spotlight, Lil Durk's supporters are divided. Some express shock and disbelief at Jam's alleged role as an informant, while others point to this betrayal as a cautionary tale about the blurred lines between street life and the music industry. Jam's double life as a trusted OTF member and alleged FBI informant has sparked intense debate about loyalty, survival, and the hidden costs of fame. The case is still unfolding, but as more details emerge, one thing is clear. Lil Durk's inner circle is under heavy scrutiny, and the consequences are far-reaching. Jam's cooperation has dealt a major blow to OTF, marking a turning point in Durk's career and sending a message about the high stakes in the world he inhabits. Reactions to Lil Durk arrest. Lil Durk's charges have stirred polarizing reactions, with some celebrating his downfall and others rallying in his support. Internet provocateur Charleston White was one of the first to jump on the news, expressing joy over Durk's legal troubles in typical White fashion. Known for his outspoken and often controversial takes, White gleefully pointed out what he saw as karma, celebrating the chickens coming home to roost for Durk. White has long voiced strong criticisms against prominent rappers, particularly those with street backgrounds or affiliations, accusing them of glorifying violence and perpetuating cycles of crime. When White got word of Durk's arrest, he didn't hesitate to mock the rapper's predicament. "So now y'all see, it ain't funny no more," he said, reminding fans of the ridicule he endured for his own recent arrest for assault and animal cruelty charges.
Nobody laughing at Durk like they were laughing at me when I went to jail. Lord have mercy. So ain't nobody laughing at Durk. Now it ain't funny.
They laughing when it's me, but silent when it's Durk. But now it's real for your favorite rapper, and that federal no bond is no joke, White added, suggesting Durk's new reality might take a severe emotional toll. To White, Durk's arrest represents a broader win in what he sees as his personal crusade against hip-hop's darker elements. White has made it clear that he believes rappers like Durk contribute to a toxic culture that ultimately harms black communities. "You love these rappers, but they don't love you back," he proclaimed, standing firm in his mission to take down influential figures who he sees as negative forces in the industry. In stark contrast to White's delight, DJ Academics, a vocal supporter and longtime friend of Durk, was devastated by the news. The popular internet personality was live streaming when the arrest was confirmed, and his reaction was instant and raw. Overcome with shock, Academics' response was more than just disbelief, it was heartbreak. In a moment that quickly went viral, he appeared visibly emotional upon seeing Durk's mugshot. After a few moments, he even stepped away from the camera, momentarily leaving his viewers to process the moment alongside him.
He's locked up, got the whole mugshot. No. Oh my God. No.
Many fans empathized with Academics, recognizing his deep connection to the Chicago rapper. Academics has consistently championed Durk as a success story, a voice from Chicago who managed to find both fame and redemption. The news that this narrative might be changing was a heavy blow for Academics, symbolizing not just a setback for Durk, but a harsh reminder of the difficult path many artists from the streets face even after achieving fame. Amid Durk's arrest, the village of Broadview in Chicago made a swift decision to withdraw the honorary key to the village they had just awarded him on October 18th. Just days earlier, Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson had praised Durk's philanthropic work with his nonprofit Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, which supports at-risk youth in Chicago. However, once news of his arrest broke, Broadview quickly rescinded the honor. In an official statement, Mayor Thompson explained that the village prioritizes high moral standards for public figures associated with the community. In Broadview, the court of public opinion matters, she said, adding that the partnership with Neighborhood Heroes Foundation was terminated as well. While the village village acknowledged the justice system's presumption of innocence, Thompson emphasized her responsibility to uphold the values and expectations of Broadview's residents. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, however, faced a more complex dilemma. Johnson, who has engaged publicly with Durk multiple times and received a $150,000 donation from him for his political committee earlier this year, was asked if he intended to return the money. Johnson avoided making a definitive statement, stressing the importance of not prejudging someone before a full trial.
If you're asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition, I hope you do understand why it is not my position to determine the outcome of someone's life.
Johnson replied, emphasizing his commitment to fairness and justice. He acknowledged Durk's challenging upbringing and highlighted the artist's efforts to give back to the Chicago community, including several events organized in partnership with the city. Johnson's stance reflects the difficulty public officials face in navigating alliances with influential yet controversial figures. His comments shed light on the delicate balance of supporting prominent community figures without compromising public standards or risking backlash. Also, Quando Rondo has finally spoken out about Lil Durk's recent arrest over an alleged murder-for-hire plot involving the death of his cousin, Lil Pab. However, rather than anger, Rondo's response surprised fans with a message of forgiveness and positivity. Promoting his new single Life Goes On, the Georgia rapper took to Instagram, urging fellow artists to leave behind street feuds and focus on family and community. In his post, Rondo highlighted the weight of loss and his commitment to peace, calling for forgiveness over past issues. The single itself reflects this shift, as Rondo raps about abandoning street affiliations in favor of spiritual growth. He raps, "That's why I put my flag down and picked up a Quran, because life goes on." With this message, Quando Rondo is signaling a new path forward, leaving street violence behind in favor of religion and healing. Quando Rondo's forgiving stance and positive message, while admirable, won't alter the legal course Lil Durk faces. The criminal justice system isn't about personal forgiveness, but legal accountability, and the charges against Durk, especially involving alleged murder for hire, are grounded in substantial federal evidence and law enforcement investigations. Prosecutors rely on concrete evidence, such as financial records, surveillance, and witness testimonies, including possibly from within Durk's own camp. So despite Rondo's call for peace, the legal system's focus remains on facts, not sentiments, in determining Durk's future. For more content like this, click on the videos showing on your screen now.